I got a question. And we're going to keep this very, very hypothetical. Very hypothetical. And it's pretty much as the title states. What if the Roman and the Reigns beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 31? Now, at the time, Roman Reigns was struggling to get over with the crowd. I mean, granted, he still is. And part of the reason is a lot of people seen Roman Reigns' push as the John Cena 2.0. And we all know how the John Cena push ultimately hurt the viewer base as far as what type of viewers would watch the product. We didn't want that happening again. Fans try to stop it before it even starts. And by that, I completely understand you guys. But what if Roman Reigns beat Brock Lesnar? A lot of people say that they want a Roman Reigns heel turn. A lot of people say that other guys are more deserving of a title run. Look at a Daniel Bryan. Look at a Seth Rollins. Look at up-and-comer to the main roster, Finn Balor. Hell, some people still say, look at Dolph Ziggler. Look at Dean Ambrose. There's one thing that all of those guys have in common. If you look at those guys, you don't feel threatened by a single one of them. I mean, at least I don't. I don't feel threatened like by the sight of them. Like I don't feel like, oh my God, they will kill me. I don't feel that way. And growing up a wrestling fan, that's usually how I felt watching wrestling. I would watch these guys. I would look at a guy like a Vader. Hell, I could look at an Austin. I could look at a Great Muta. I could look at, hell, I could even look at Chris Benoit. Why is this guy's name escaping my mind? Kevin Sullivan, who we now call Big Show, who was the Giant at the time in WCW. Kevin Nash, Scott Hall. You can look at all of these guys, and you can think to yourself, they would kick my ass. I don't want to try them if I meet them at a bar. And there's tons and tons of other names. The list goes on and on. If I didn't name The Undertaker, you could throw The Undertaker in there, Yokozuna. The names go on and on. And here's what I have to say about it. Roman Reigns, you guys are going to kill me for this. I can look at Roman Reigns. Now, granted, I'm a little bit older now than I was when I was watching back then, but I could look at Roman Reigns and see a threat. Like if I looked at him IRL, in real life, I could look at Roman Reigns and say, I might not want to fuck with that guy. He has that look. He has that presence. Whereas I personally, now you may feel different, but I personally don't get that presence from those other guys. Now, why am I bringing up the presence of a Roman Reigns? Couple of reasons. One was to simply compare him to the other guys that I named that people love to see and people will love to see at the top of the business. My other reason on why I'm bringing up Roman Reigns' presence is what it could mean to the company and where it possibly could have gone. Now, I don't see WWE as doing this, but as I started off the video, I said, let's just talk hypothetically. So, you have Brock Lesnar, the beast incarnate, a guy who you know you can't beat. You watching this video, you can't beat Brock Lesnar. I can't beat Brock. Brock gonna fuck. Alright? Don't drop the soap around Brock fucking. Simple as that. Don't get locked in the elevator with Brock one-on-one. Don't do it. Don't do it. So, let's go along the course of the line in which WWE was putting out there for us. WWE had Brock destroy The Undertaker. You wanted to build up Brock as a monster, somebody that you can't conquer, somebody that it's just needed. Somebody needs to knock this guy off. But they went a wrong way. They made a wrong turn with Brock some way along the line. And that way was John Cena. So you have Brock come in. He does the honors. He loses to John Cena. I guess WWE wanted to see if he would do business, which he did. Brock doesn't give a fuck. You pay him, he'll do business. Then he goes on to beat Triple H, lose Triple H at Mania, beat Triple H. Okay, Brock's doing business. Brock doesn't even care if it's at WrestleMania. He'll do the honors. Gotcha. Loud and clear. So now that WWE trusts the Brock, now they know, okay, we can put our eggs in this basket to pave the way for the future. So what do? They want to build Brock as a monster. You have him beat the unbeatable streak. He beats the Undertaker streak and gets a massive rub when at the time Brock Lesnar didn't look believable. He didn't look all that believable because of the losses that he took to a John Cena and to a Triple H. It just didn't look like he needed something. And this was the thing that he needed. And from there on, he went on a killing spree. Beat the Undertaker, took him out of action. Went against John Cena at SummerSlam for the title. Suplex City was born. Had a rematch. I don't think he won clean. I don't even remember what was it, a DQ finish or a no contest at the next pit? I don't know. Don't care. What happened is Brock retained the titles and still looked strong. Had a triple threat match with Seth Rollins and John Cena, which was a lot of people's match of the year candidate. Brock was Brock. Now, you're building up a beast. Somebody that you can see as unbeatable, somebody as a realistic threat. And you're preparing someone else to get the rub. And that someone else is Roman Reigns, right? So I fed you guys about 7.5 minutes of shit you already know, but let me bring it all together. And why us, the fans, you, the viewers, need to sometimes, quite possibly, shut the fuck up. And here's why. Again, not saying that WWE was going to do this, but we don't know. And again, hypothetically. So you're building up Roman Reigns to beat Brock Lesnar, to be the one to conquer this guy. And the fans are so against it that they had to go the other way and have Seth Rollins cash in. But let's say that the fans were actually behind a Roman Reigns. Let's say that Brock Lesnar beat someone else, a la Daniel Bryan, for the title instead of John Cena, which was supposed to happen, which was supposed to give Brock and keep Brock with that good, clean heel heat so that Roman can get the rub. It was John Cena. Now, with John Cena, with him beating John Cena, you're going to get cheered for that. And from there on, Brock was seen as babyface. So let's say that people actually got behind Roman Reigns for his match with Brock Lesnar. He goes in there as a babyface. He beats Brock Lesnar. He beats the guy that beat a Daniel Bryan, the guy that everyone loved. And people get behind a Roman in the ring. Everybody now, coming back into reality, not everybody. People now want Roman to be heel. They're like, oh, it's the only way that Roman's going to get over. You got to turn him heel. Got to turn him heel. Got to turn him heel. Who's to say that who's to say that they didn't have the intentions? In order for someone to turn heel, and an actually impactful heel, a heel that actually means something, a heel that's going to get a huge reaction and it's going to be organic and actually mean something, and then they can push him that way, I want you to look no further than Hulk Hogan NWO, where Hulk Hogan was a massive babyface. And they turn him just like that. So let's say that Roman Reigns is babyface and people accept him. And then out of nowhere, you have Roman turn heel. See, now it means something because he's beaten the guy who was a monster. He's become I don't want to say a fan favorite, but he's become somebody that people have cheered. He's a babyface that people accept. So now when you turn him heel, It means something. Now they can do it. If fans are already booing Roman Reigns, now going back to reality, if fans are already booing Roman Reigns against the grain of what WWE wants, then why should they turn him heel? He's already getting the reaction that you guys want. So in your eyes, he's a heel. So why should they change anything? Who's to say that he's actually not a heel? Who's to say that they weren't booking him as a heel? Who's to say? They probably were already doing it, and you guys were giving them the reaction that they wanted. But in order to become a real heel, where they can book him a heel way realistically, he needed to be accomplished as a face. Have the crowd get behind him and then turn him. He would be a believable heel. He would be a believable badass, and he looks like a guy that is threatening. Look at Seth Rollins as a heel. Does Seth Rollins look threatening to you as a heel? Fuck no. Look at Dean Ambrose. Does Dean Ambrose look threatening to you right now as a champ? No. None of those guys look threatening as a champion. Look at Samoa Joe. That fucker looks threatening as a champion. He looks threatening as a heel. I completely buy into him. Those other guys, no. There's a sense of a believability that needs to be built in. And I believe that the fans didn't give WWE the chance to build in that believability for Roman Reigns. And honestly, I think the fans fucked over the fans on this one. I think the fans fucked over the fans because right now, everything's in limbo. Nobody knows who's going after what. Nobody knows who's the man. Nobody knows anything. Everybody is a mid-card. And I want to say that those fans who consistently booed Rowan didn't allow for a star to be made. And this right here is my lasting closing argument right here. You didn't allow for a star to be made in Roman Reigns so that somebody that you like can get the rub from Roman Reigns as a babyface.